One of the top questions from any beginning drummer or percussionist getting into the art form is, what sort of gear should I use? I mean, there are a billion different options of drums, drum heads, cymbals, cymbal stands, cymbal sleeves, cymbal felts, bass drum pedals. But absolutely one of the hottest topics of discussion is what sort of stick should I use? And there are a million different types of sticks out there. I'm not going to have the same preferences that you are. Now in my case, I use the Salyers Percussion 5A drum set sticks. To me, they're the best balance, and they're also at a reasonable price, and they just feel the best out of any stick. But that's just my opinion. You may not want these. So drumsticks are their own problem. But what about alternative sources of sound? What if you get this common request from your lead singer or electric guitarist? Well, the good news is, just like drumsticks, there are a million different quieter sound sources that you can use as well. Incidentally, that's also the bad news. Now, a common go-to amongst drummers is the good old-fashioned wire brush, whereas they used to be called fly swatters. No, I'm not kidding. If you didn't know, these were actually originally designed as retractable fly swatters. Now, the great thing about wire brushes is if you're playing jazz or you're playing some other type of early Americana music, brushes are the perfect go-to even if you're not being told to play quiet. Now the bad news is if you're playing something a little bit more modern like rock or pop, these may not be the best option because their sound is a little bit too soft and they just feel really weird in your hand when you're trying to play your normal stuff because the thing is shorter, and just go with it. It's my excuse for why my brush technique sucks. Now the next common go-to item is roots or hot rods or whatever you have. I bought these a while ago. These are just a plastic version of roots, but you usually see them look like this, or this, or this. They're all pretty much the same idea. It's just bundled sticks. Now the good news about this option is that it's the right length, it's the right weight, it feels a little bit more like a drumstick, and even the sound is a lot more clear than, say, if you were using a wire brush. Now the bad thing with this product is the fact that it still feels like you kind of just took broom bristles, bundled them together, and started whacking your drum set with it. The feel is not 100% there while it's better than the wire brush, but inevitably this just isn't the best solution either. Luckily for a lot of us percussionists and drummers, Salyers Percussion has actually come out with what I think is the ideal product for playing a little bit quieter, but still having the feel and control of a normal drumstick. Ladies and gentlemen, drummers alike, I present to you the Salyers Kendo stick. This thing really kind of breaks the mold as the perfect balance between root and drumstick. It's a 5A drumstick shaft and handle, all the way up till about 3 inches to the end. Then it breaks off into this bundled bamboo stick type wood with a piece of foam in the middle. Now mine are kind of chewed up and gnarly looking because I've actually been using these. I've used these on jazz gigs, as well as some rock gigs where I just wanted a slightly quieter tone without sacrificing the feel. It's really kind of an ingenious concept. Feels just like a drumstick in the hand, and even the weight's pretty much the exact same. Now don't get me wrong, it has its flaws too. This little green part is a little weird to get used to. Actually, that's about it. That's pretty much the only flaw I've thought of. So let's just go ahead and test everything out. We're going to start with the drumstick, then move our way into the wire brush territory just so we can, gauge the sample. Then we're going to go into these roots situations, then kendo stick. One big benefit to using kendo sticks over traditional roots or hot rods as well is the fact that if you're going into a big chorus section of the song and you're trying to get that stick sound again, instead of having to fumble with your stick bag or leave sticks on your floor tom or on your bass drum and having to switch between hands, you just kind of simply just that simple. One other major benefit of using kendo sticks over traditional roots is you can get that good cross stick sound without having to grab another stick out of your bag. This is basically the most versatile stick option you have in your stick bag. And don't just take my word for it, these things are only $19 on Steve Weiss. There are some drumsticks that are more expensive than that. My personal opinion is that the kendo stick is probably the most versatile option you can throw into your stick bag at any time, and for only $19, it's well worth the investment. These things are gonna last you a long time. So the next time you get this reaction, it's too loud! Be sure you're prepared.